was Asuka, Bianca, and Charlotte versus Damage Control, which was Bayley, Io, and Kairi Sane with Dakota ringside. And I would say, yeah, it was a good match. But what is fun about this match is what ends up happening, girl. Okay. So Bianca is in need of a tag. She needs to get out of the ring. Asuka is standing there being like, grab my hand, girl, grab my hand. But right as Bianca is about to slap her hand, Asuka takes it away, and Bianca is in utter shock. And then so is Damage Control. They're kind of looking over, being like, what's going on over here? And then Asuka spits the mist at
Incredible.
Bianca. And then she gets in the ring and tells like Kairi to come here, and she like hugs her, and she has Io come in, and they're all hugging and jumping around, and then they get Bayley, and now they're all hugging, and I'm like, oh my gosh!
It was such a sweet moment. It was such a sweet moment.
I know, I was so excited because we were just talking about how we would love for it to be Io, Asuka, and Kairi as a little group, and so now I'm like, okay, I love that it's in Damage Control, even if it's just for the time being. I'm all for it. So Charlotte tries to break up their little happy reunion, but they all end up attacking her. And then Shotzi ends up coming out thinking she can hang. LOL.
Yeah, what the hell was this? All right, like why does Shotzi just think like she's the one that's gonna save the day? I mean, I like you, Shotzi, but come on. I
think they're really trying to get her involved in something on SmackDown, and so that's why they like randomly infused her into like being an ally of Charlotte, which I still think is just super random, and it just feels weird, and they haven't really done enough to make it seem like legit or that Charlotte's even into it. You know what I mean? Like we haven't gotten like the stamp of approval from Charlotte. Like she hasn't really said anything about Shotzi.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's what makes it weird too. But as we were saying earlier, you know, do you think that Damage Control really is a cohesive unit right now, or do you think that this is just the start and it will end up being Asuka, Io, Kairi versus, you know, Bayley, Dakota, and whoever?
We are now in the chapter of Bayley's journey to being a babyface again.
I am so here for it.
It is teased with the hug. Okay. As we mentioned, nothing in WWE or pro wrestling in general, sports entertainment, is done by accident. Everything has a purpose. There's no reason that those 3, 4 end up being 5 with Bayley, women hugging in the ring, is just, oh, it's a sweet moment, whatever. No.
Yeah.
No, that there is so much deeper meaning there, because you have the video of what Bayley did to Kairi be played. All right, it's mind games. That's what this is all about. It's mind games now. And the thing that really solidified it to me was the SmackDown Lowdown, they call it, or the Lowdown on Peacock. There was a clip that was posted on Twitter from it, and the 3 Asuka, Io, Kairi, and Dakota are all in the locker room area, whatever, just shooting the shit. And then Bayley comes in, and it gets like awkward, like boss coming into the employee lounge or employee like work, and it just goes weirdly awkward. And then Kathy Kelly comes in and interviews. That kind of stuff is a telltale sign that this is going to be cohesive a little bit, but this is not going to be a long tenured group right now. We're going to see some branching off very soon.
For me, I felt like the indicator was Kairi forgiving Bayley. Like in that
right
original segment, like right away is when I got like my antennas went up. You know what I mean? Like you already kind of felt like, all right, Kairi coming back and immediately like joining forces with Io already made you feel like something was going to be happening with Io and Bayley and Damage Control and whatever. But the fact that Bayley puts that clip up, and she was brutal to Kairi in that clip. It wasn't just like, oh, I beat her and like whatever. It was like, no, she was trying to end her. And the fact that then Kairi's just like, oh, I forgive you. I'm like, girl, no, you don't. You know, and we knew that there had been like subtle hints of Dakota and Io getting some sort of feeling about Bayley because of, you know, Bayley accepting matches on Io's behalf, or like setting things up and not clearing it by her, or maybe acting like the women's title is also hers, or even, you know, like even when she was talking about Damage CTRL, she was saying like, this is Io's era because of me, basically. So it seems like this has been in the works for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think at the end, and like you said on that clip too, it just feels like, yeah, they're setting it up for it to end eventually. But I feel like I can see this being really good. Like, even if we only get this like unified group of Damage CTRL for a short period of time, or if it's long, I think it's going to be good. And then the eventual breakup and whatever happens, if it's Bayley versus Io or whatever it is, I think that's going to be fire. I'm so excited.